Hello, welcome to Modern Day Deborah, Voice for the Voiceless. My name is Michelle. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. If you've been watching for the past few nights, you know that I am in the middle of a series entitled 10 Days, 10 Warning Signs, and 10 Scriptures, where each day for 10 days I am bringing a warning sign because I didn't want to do a video that was going to be hours long about the 10 warning signs. These 10 warning signs that will indicate to you that your relationship is abusive. So I decided to do one video a day. Today I am on day 4. So for the first day, the first warning sign was verbal abuse. The second day, the second warning sign was physical abuse. Last night, the third sign was if they've been abusive in previous relationships. So tonight, the warning sign is, we're on warning sign number 4, is if he is unable to control his temper. So in the previous videos, I've said this, I understand that there are different dynamics to relationships. So I am using male on female for this series. But like I've said in previous videos, I work with male victims who are victims of domestic violence as well. So, and then sometimes it's children on parents, children on grandparents, parents on children. If the child is a minor, then it's child abuse. If the child is an adult, it's domestic violence. So tonight I want to talk about this warning sign, which is if he is unable to control his temper. And I'm going to try to stick with my notes as much as I can tonight because I don't want to make the videos long, but the past 3 nights they've been a little bit longer than what I would like. So, but anger is destructive and it often escalates to physical violence. So if a person has an anger problem and they just don't have any control over their temper, eventually they're going, they might start out punching walls, breaking stuff, yelling, throwing things at you. But eventually that's going to get physical to the point where they are punching you, throwing you against the wall and throwing things at you, or beating you with objects and different things of that nature. So if a person is unable to control their temper, it's very likely that they are unable to control other areas of their life. If they have uncontrollable anger, this is very, very dangerous. It is a big, this is a major red flag. And you are in a very dangerous situation. And you need to, get out of that situation. And of course, I always tell you how to do that safely, which I'll do at the end of the video. So the scripture for tonight, and I always like to, it's called 10 days, 10 warning signs, 10 scriptures. So I like to try to make sure I do the scripture early on so I don't forget. So the scripture for tonight is Proverbs 14:29. The Amplified Version says, "He who is slow to anger has great understanding and profits from his self-control. But he who is quick-tempered exposes and exalts his foolishness for all to see." So what does he do when he gets angry? If you're in a relationship and you I don't know if you maybe think it might be abusive or if just your mate has anger problems. So what do they do when they get angry? Because people, a lot of people get angry. They just, go walk it off or, go sit somewhere quiet. Or, it's a lot of things that you can do when you get angry besides breaking objects and, battering people, beating up on people. It's a lot of things you can do, but if you don't have any control, if you lack self-control and you can't control your temper, you can't control your anger, then that's when it escalates to the person being physically violent. And this is something that I see quite often. And ladies, I am asking you to please stay away from men when you know they got anger problems. That's very dangerous when you know he's got an anger problem. And you know, when he gets mad, he breaks stuff. When he gets mad, you got to go, y'all get into an argument and he gets into a rage and you got to go run and hide, lock yourself in the bathroom. You got to go, run and hide, go and, lock yourself in the bedroom closet to get away from him because he's in a rage, and you scared what he's going to do to you because he's in a rage. And then he find you and just kick the door off the hinges, find you and, grabbing you by the hair and strangle you or punch you in the face. I'm telling you, some of the stuff that I see, I do not understand. In all my 22 years of doing this, I do not understand how a man can beat up a woman, fight a woman like he fighting another man. I just don't understand that. Punching her in the face, kicking her in the head, dragging her out the bed, just all kind of crazy stuff. Like I just biting, slapping, punching, kicking, all this crazy stuff to a human being. Much less this is somebody that you're in a relationship with, that you're supposed to love and cherish and, take care of and protect. And you the one that they need to be protected from. I am cautioning you, ladies, that if you are in a relationship with somebody that has a bad temper, they just go off the chain mad over just small stuff, just go from 0 to 100, just real quick. And I'm saying they don't just, when they get angry, they don't just like I said, go walk or go for a walk or, go close in the room or I don't want to be bothered right now. I'm angry or frustrated or whatever. But they don't do that. They just take their frustrations out on whoever or whatever, and the really bad cases are the ones when there's alcohol and drugs involved. So if he got a bad temper and he drink alcohol heavily, or he does drugs or both, that's a very, very lethal combination. And that is not a situation you want to find yourself in. So I am just, cautioning you that if the person you're in a relationship with or considering being in a relationship with has this kind of an anger problem, they cannot control their temper, they cannot control their anger, they just go off the chain mad, choking you, punching you, biting you, kicking you, dragging you by your hair down the hallway, all kind of crazy stuff, fighting you like a guy, like he's fighting a man. That is a very dangerous situation. Beating you with objects. And then if they got weapons, that's another lethal combination. They're very angry. They get angry quick. They very, just lose it over, something small, or, y'all get into an argument and it always has to end up being physical. Because you can be in a relationship, every relationship, you're going to have disagreements. But when he get mad and y'all don't agree on something, or he get mad about something, he just fly off the handle, just go crazy. That is very dangerous. It's very dangerous specifically when he has weapons. And like I said, if it is in conjunction with he has, an alcohol problem or he does drugs, very, very lethal combination. And I'm telling you something that I see often, that another thing that I just don't understand is when she finds out that he's cheating on her and then he just go crazy and like I said, beat her up like he fighting a man. I'm like, you cheated on her? She found out you was cheating on her and now you beating her up. I'm talking about like choking her out, punching her in the face, busting her lip, doing all kind of crazy things. I mean, because she found out that he cheated. And don't let it be that he suspects she cheating or she broke it off with him because he's abusive. And now she moved on her life and she was somebody else. And now he really just losing it. Going over to her house, banging on the door, banging on the window, throwing stuff at the, through the window, or kicking the door off the hinges. I'm telling you, just some crazy stuff. Just some crazy stuff. Because she won't let him in. Just keep kicking the door until he just kick it off the hinges. Or, I mean, it just some crazy stuff. And what I am saying to you tonight is, when you see this type of behavior, you are in a very dangerous situation. I'm not even going to say, it's a warning sign. If you going through this, that is the sign that it's abusive. It's I just think it's just a lot of, men that are exhibiting this kind of behavior. A lot of them just walking around with psychological problems that have not been, they are just undiagnosed psychological problems, and probably need to be on some medicine. And I'm serious. I really not saying that to be funny. I am serious. They need to be on some type of medication, because if you can't control your temper, you go off the hinges mad, just crazy as a fox on the 4th of July, just over little stuff. Or if you can, if you and your, you can have a disagreement, and every time you have a disagreement, you scared, you walking on eggshells, and another thing they like to do is smash the cell phone. Take your cell phone, because they don't want you to call the police. Take your cell phone and throw it, smash it, or whatever. Just a lot of crazy stuff. And I'm just cautioning you tonight, if you are in that kind of a situation, or if maybe you dating somebody, and maybe you engaged to somebody, let me tell you, if that is the case and they have this kind of behavior, is not going to change after you marry him. If he ain't got no control over his temper before he marry you, he ain't going to have no control over his temper after he marry you. It's not going to change just because you marry him. It's not going to change. In most cases, it gets worse. So I am just cautioning you tonight, ladies. Please stay away from these men when you know they are crazy, that they fight women. Last night I talked about they're abusive in previous relationship. That's a warning sign they're going to be abusive in the relationship with you. So, and I said, just like I said last night, don't think you're going to be the game changer, because it is a pattern of behavior, and it is usually a lifestyle for them. That's what they do. Maybe it's what they grew up seeing in their household. And that's what, maybe his father or whoever the male figure was in his family, maybe that's what they did. But I just want to tell you tonight, if you are experiencing any of this kind of behavior in your relationship, you're in a very dangerous situation. Remember what I said about the combination. If he is crazy, just go off the chain he gets mad and he smashes stuff, destroy your property, punches a hole in the wall when he get mad, or a crazy thing that I haven't seen it lately, but at one point in time I was seeing they just take her stuff and pour bleach on it, just to do something, just to destroy her property. Just crazy stuff and I'm telling you, stay away from this type of man. It is very dangerous. You deserve better. It is not only that, but your life can depend on it. I mean, your very life may depend on it, because if they go into rages, and this is something that's happening often, y'all can't even have a disagreement, a discussion where y'all not agreeing about something, and he just get off the chain mad and goes into a rage. You got to go run and hide, lock yourself in the bathroom, in the bed. That you're in a dangerous, very dangerous situation, specifically if he is beating you with objects, threatening you with weapons. if he got weapons and he got this kind of a temper, that's a very lethal combination. If he drinks alcohol, specifically if he drinks alcohol heavily, if he does drugs, got a bad temper, got weapons, very, very lethal combination. And you are in a very dangerous situation, and you should seek help immediately. Like I said, I always like to tell you how to leave safely. If you are in an abusive relationship that, and you decide to leave, that can be the most dangerous time. So please make sure you contact a victim advocate in your area that can help you put together a safety plan so that you and your children can leave safely. Most police departments, sheriff departments, women's centers, domestic violence shelters all have victim advocates. If you don't know where to go in your area, please contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. They have victim advocates on call that can help you, they can counsel you, or they can tell you where to go in your area to get help. So, and in the event of an emergency, dial 911. I mean, if it's in the, if you're in the middle of the crisis, of course, you're gonna dial, call 911. But I like to caution you to leave. If you're deciding to leave, make sure that you leave safely and that you get help from someone, preferably a victim advocate in your area, that can help you put together a safety plan so that you and your kids can leave safely. And like I said, most police departments, women's centers, sheriff department, domestic violence shelters all have victim advocates. If you don't know where to go in your area, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Well, that's it for day 4. Tonight's warning sign was if he is unable to control his temper. If he is unable to control his temper, that is a sign. I ain't even gonna say warning. That is a sign that it could escalate. If it, like I said, if it's just at the point where he's just getting mad and throwing stuff and punching the walls and all that other stuff, that's bad enough. But when it has gotten to the point where he is now taking this anger out on you and losing control on you and maybe even your kids, that is a very dangerous situation, and you need to seek help immediately. So again, that is warning sign number 4. We are on day 4 of 10 days, 10 warning signs, 10 scripture. The scripture for tonight was Proverbs 14:29, Amplified Version. Tune in tomorrow for warning sign number 5. Remember to guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life. I'll meet you back here tomorrow. Be blessed.